Hello students, welcome back to civics class. In a previous video, we discussed regarding the important parliamentary procedures like quorum, zero hour, casting oath, no confidence motion and adjournment motion. Okay, so now let's discuss regarding the powers and functions of the parliament. The Union Parliament comprises of President, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, so that we all know that. And here the two houses of the parliament are not competitors but they cooperate, we call it as a co-partners of each other in the functioning of the government functions. Okay. Next, both the houses have equal powers in important matters such as impeachment of the president, removal of the vice president or the judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts, constitutional amendments, etc. So in all these fields, both the houses, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, have equal powers. Okay. Keep in mind, so questions can be asked, name any three points or name any three equal powers of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, so you can name it like impeachment of the president, removal of the vice president, removal of the judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts, or the constitutional amendments. Okay, changes in the constitution. Okay, but with regard to the financial matters and the responsibility of the Council of Ministers are exclusively in the domain of the Lok Sabha. Okay, so that we'll discuss in a further headings. The presidential ordinances, proclamation of emergency and the proclamation of the breakdown of constitutional machinery in any state, it has to be placed before both the houses. So here also the presidential ordinances or the proclamation of emergency is placed before both the houses. That means both the houses have equal rights on this matter. In case of disagreement between the two houses on these matters, a joint sitting will be convened where the matters will be decided by vote. Okay. Next we'll see the legislative powers of the parliament. The parliament can make laws on matters in the union list. So we have the three lists: union list, state list and the concurrent list. And the union parliament can make laws on the matters in the union list. Okay, the parliament can make laws on all 97 subjects that are mentioned in the union list, including important subjects like defense, communication, foreign policy, etc. Matters in the concurrent list. What is concurrent list? So in the concurrent list we have 47 subjects, and in this both state and the center can function. Okay, so can take up the laws. The parliament can make laws on all the 47 subjects mentioned in the concurrent list along with the state legislative assemblies. Okay, if there is any conflict between the parliament and the state legislature on any law in the concurrent list, the union law will be preferred. Okay. Next we'll see the residuary powers of the parliament. The parliament can make laws on all the subjects which are not mentioned in any of the three lists, that is the union, state and the concurrent list. The subjects which are not mentioned in three of these lists can be taken by the parliament. Okay, so that power we say it is a residuary power of the parliament. Parliament can also make laws on subjects mentioned in the state list. During proclamation of emergency or 2/3 majority of the Rajya Sabha proposes that the subject in the state list is of national importance, or when two or more states request the parliament to handle the subject given in the state list, can take up by the parliament. Next we'll see ordinances. What is ordinances? The president can promulgate an ordinance when the parliament is not in session. Okay, so what is ordinance? Ordinance means the law made by the president when the parliament is not in session. Okay, so however the ordinance passed by the president has to be approved or rejected within 6 weeks of reassembly of the parliament. Okay, so usually when the parliament will not be in session, that is during the emergencies. Okay, so during this time the president can use his power to make any laws, okay, to solve the situation. So those laws which are made by the president has to be accepted by the parliament once it reassembles. Okay, that too within 6 weeks it has to consider. Okay, if it accepts the law made by the president, yes, it will be continued as law, but if it is rejected, it will not be considered as a law. The next one is powers during the emergency. If there is a breakdown of constitutional machinery in the state, the parliament becomes the state legislature, okay, and assumes all powers including the financial powers of passing the state budget. Okay, so the parliament will take over the state legislature when there is a constitutional machinery is breakdown in the state. Okay, so we have 28 states. Okay, so if there is any constitutional violation has been observed, okay, in any of the state, so that state will come directly under the control of the parliament. The state emergency will be declared. Okay, so during the state emergency time, the entire state will be under the control of the parliament. So the parliament will take over, even including the financial powers. Okay, next is control over the executive. The Council of Ministers are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. Okay, the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. They are responsible to whom? They are responsible to the Lok Sabha. Why they are responsible to the Lok Sabha? Because if there is a no confidence motion passed by the Lok Sabha against the Council of Ministers, what they have to do? They have to resign. Okay, so they are responsible to the Lok Sabha. They can remain in office as long as they are in confidence of the majority of the members of the Lok Sabha. The parliament can exercise its control over the executive in following manner. So the first one is interpellation. It includes question hour, 0 hour, which are being discussed in the parliamentary procedures. Vote of no confidence, again adjournment motion. Okay, so through all these forms, the Lok Sabha controls the Council of Ministers. The parliament can have a control over the government through other motions of census. Okay, like they include adjournment motion, motion of censure against a minister or ministers, rejection of a government bill, passing of a private member's bill against the wishes of the government, etc. Okay, next we'll move on to the financial powers of the parliament. Money bill can originate in the Lok Sabha only. Okay, so we have already discussed that. Once the bill is passed in the Lok Sabha, it is sent to the Rajya Sabha for its recommendation. Okay, that too they have to give their recommendations within 14 days. How long the Rajya Sabha can hold how long can the Rajya Sabha hold a financial bill? It is only for 14 days. Okay, so in financial matters, the Rajya Sabha has only an advisory role. Okay, no other power is given to the Rajya Sabha over the financial bill. The budget. The parliament passes the union budget, that is the estimates of the income and expenditure of the government during the financial year. It is presented in two parts, namely the railway budget and general budget. Okay, so this is how the financial bill will be introduced in the house. And who will be introducing the financial bill? It is the finance minister. Supplementary grants. If the amount authorized for the current financial year is not sufficient, the government can make a fresh demand known as supplementary grants. Okay, so hope you understand what is supplementary grants means. If there is a lack of amount, okay, that is being fixed in the budget, in the bill which is being announced, okay, the government can again make a fresh demand for the amount that we say it is a supplementary grants. Vote on account. If the union budget is not presented by the government before the beginning of a new financial year, then vote on account authorizes the executive to draw funds from Consolidated Fund of India until the budget is passed by the parliament. Okay, so during the beginning of the new financial year, if the parliament is delaying to announce the financial bill, so till they announce, they can draw the amount from the vote on account, okay, for the function of the governments. Regarding the salaries, the parliament decides the salaries and allowances of the MPs and other ministers of the parliament, and also those of the ministers and the chief justice and judges of the Supreme Court and the high courts. But this is to be borne in mind that all the financial matters are in the hands of the Lok Sabha, which has the real power, but Rajya Sabha has only a little power with these financial matters. Next is permission of taxes. No tax can be imposed or money spent by the government without the approval of the parliament. So everything, for whatever they are spending on any financial issues, that has to be approved by the parliament, specifically the Lok Sabha. The next one is judicial powers of the parliament. The impeachment of the president. In case of violation of the constitution, the president can be removed through a procedure known as impeachment by 2/3 majority of any house, either the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, and here two houses also have the equal rights or equal power. The other house then investigate the charges, and if the other house too finds that the president is guilty of, the president will be impeached and removed from the office. Removal of judges. In case of violation of constitution, the parliament can remove judges of Supreme Court, high courts, chief election commissioners, and so on. Okay, the same as of the impeachment of the president. It has to be passed by both the houses with 2/3 majority. The next one is punishment. The parliament can punish a person who obstructs the work of parliament or a person who shows disrespect to the house. Okay, this is regarding the judicial powers of the parliament. Next, we'll see the electoral functions of the parliament. The parliament, along with state legislature, appoints the president of India and also appoints the vice president of India and elects the speaker and deputy speaker of the Lok Sabha and deputy speaker or the deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha. These are the electoral functions of the parliament. So in this video, we were discussing regarding the powers and functions of the parliament, that is including both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, and also we have mainly concentrated on the equal powers of the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, and also what are the powers and functions of the parliament. Go through the video carefully. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you.